Welcome to the Ingot House Podcast. I'm Erickson Krona, and this month I'm feeling really good because we got about a month's worth of goals done in 1 week this week. So I'm here, really excited. Hey, look at that boat. I have that mount. A Colfist Grondling just sold before I started the recording. So that's another 15,000 gold. Or, 12,000. Yeah, 12,499. I would have liked to sell it for 15,000, but that just sold. It's got 47 minutes and 49 seconds. Welcome to the podcast. We are here. If you'd like to, do the social media thing and, that would be appreciated. Trying to stay focused here. Today this is the very last thing on my agenda of goals for this month, obviously, because it's the last day of the month, but even more so than that. It just so happened that I installed some new hardware on my computer and secured some transactions, investments, and cleaned out a house in Ultima Online. Got a lot of things done, and the computer looks great here. You will see a markedly noticeable difference in the graphics quality of today's simulated show here, podcast with video, which would be like a simulcast or whatever. Simcast. I'm sure someone has already thought of that word and it means something completely different. But I guess you know what I mean when I say that. And if you don't, that's what I mean as well. That's also what I mean. Wow, a lot of boats. I feel like I'm going to get on my boat here. Oh, I'm rambling. So I'm going to play some auctions. So basically I want to get my podcast done today. It's the last thing, and then I'm going to celebrate. And my bros are probably thinking that I should be gaining XP, and they're right. They're right to think that. These lesser ingots, we can just skip right over them because we're in the podcast. There seemed to be a sort of increase in the ingots here. Oh yeah, look at this right here. Mithril bars, 1,026 stacks for 20. Someone put all those there because they as a statement, and that's funny. There's no reason to put that many. I guess you should or could. See, look at this. This is our other competition, and because it's steel bars, this is a case where you buy out your competition, put one up for 150, and then we're going to put another one up for 199. So feeling really good, getting relaxed today. These are these appear to be auctions left over. That one there. Someone majorly undercut me there, and then we undercut them. The name of the game in I always have at the end of each podcast I always have financial advice, and we're going to do it early. So I suppose that means that the financial advice in each podcast just kind of arrives uh, at any point in the podcast, and today it's in the beginning. So, it's an observation on how the auction house has changed since the expansion. Now, this would be where a normal person would put their disclaimer in, but I'm just going to simply say that this is my kind of accrued economic sense of the auction house here. There's our obsidian bars, and by which I mean that I kind of sense things, like in comic books it would be like a spidey sense. I sense things on the auction house and changes and difference. They're also just simply plain observations that any old person could do. So let me cut to the chase by saying, trying to interpret what I'm seeing here too. Oh wait, we're fine there with that ingot. Okay, here's the thing. The auction house, how it's changed. One observation is that the way that my strategy has changed since before the expansion and now, between then and now, is that I'm putting less stacks on. So you see one stack there of 50 more frequently. So it's almost incentivized, the changes have almost incentivized players to play more often, in the sense that they go to the auction house and put auctions up more often. Right there we put one. So no, before I used to put like 4 stacks of 50 every 2 days and just let it go, run for 2 days, and now I kind of frequently check it, and it's more of an ongoing process. Not necessarily a bad thing. Let's put another stack here, just to intimidate. 13 pages. Screw it, we don't have enough time. Forget that. We don't have enough time for that. Gold bars. I've been watching these because the ore is going up. Do we want gold bars for 10? Why not? Someday they might be worth like a 386 per gold bar, and then we'll have a nice podcast, simcast, video here of me buying gold bars for under 10 gold per bar. I never know how much lingo to put into the podcast here. Enchanted thorium, same case. We'll put 1 stack of 50 for 99. Probably a mistake. Might not be. 444. That should sell. If it was under, ideally you want to be like at 9,000 in that case there. However, not this time. do we want to compete here? Do we want to undercut? Let's do 1 stack of 5. Doesn't... Maybe we'll just see that sell. Before I switch characters, what I was saying earlier was I kind of want to get the podcast done and celebrate. So I'm going to make kind of a more technical podcast. And when we originally started the podcast with Jared, Jeff, and Eric, I joined their guild and made a new character this month. So we're going to see a good episode maybe later this year, depending on how much we're playing, and maybe in the arena. They played arena last night, which was awesome to hear. Because that's a show of interest in PvP arena, which is always difficult to muster up for us veteran players. I'm psyching myself out with this Arcanite bar here. Does this make sense? Yes, but let's bring it down 1 notch. Should be 1 number. That's also, not only is that stylish to put all 7s or all 8s, it's also convenient because I just hit the button. Where were we? Right there. Titanium is almost more expensive. Hey, I just undercut myself. That's interesting. I almost don't want that to sell, but we'll see if it sells anyway. Yeah, that's okay. That's okay if it sells. Sometimes if you have to question yourself after you put something up on the auction house, kind of question yourself, will I be happy if this sells? And then you look at it and kind of decide. All of these prices are how much it's worth for me to consistently place these up. See, look at that. That's a Monopoly. That's mine. Yeah, let's not undercut ourselves. Those auctions could drop possibly before mine, and then mine would sell. Well, I'm certainly going to put some corium up here. Oh, that's right. I want to put an intimidating amount of corium up. That's how you do it. So now look, when we search corium bar, that's what you see. This one guy is corium for 700, which I'd buy right now. And then mine for $749,000 749,000 gold. It's almost too much for 10. I mean, it's insane. So here's what we're going to do. Oh, I was going to put another one up, but we're out, so that's fine. Let's just move on. Gonna maybe do some PvP today. The subscribership has kind of slowed down, and that can be a good thing for collecting, because you can get your hands on some fairly rare opportunities because they're rare, because of that, the very nature of people kind of slowing down on subscribership after the expansion, is that all of a sudden you got an opportunity because not many people are there. The World of Warcraft community is going through its own little correction, and things are looking really good, personally. These are all the ore. I almost would say we won't bother with the herbs. Yeah, we can just kind of like gloss over this a little bit. What is that? Let's say 2 stacks of 20. We are really moving the ore here. If it weren't this early in the expansion, I would be able to not think about this so deeply. Went too deep there. It's kind of like when you pick up a new mouse and your hand is like, oh geez, my muscles feel this. Or if you play a new character in game, your hand will feel it in real life. You'll be like, why does my hand hurt today? And it's like, oh yeah, I'm playing a new character. And that's because your hand has to do little kind of like muscle corrections. It's about like classically conditioning muscles in your hand and the phenomena which surround that topic. And right now with these prices, I'm going through that a little bit. Not so much that my hand hurts, because it's not like a physical fight in game where like you have to use dexterity, like constant motion, flowing motion dexterity and choppy motion dexterity. I'm using kind of like casual normal dexterity here. But my brain is trying to think of these prices because normally I'd be used to the prices, and right now, like, that's not right. That price is not right. So we are going to put... Oh, that's not good. Yeah, that's okay. That's intimidating to buyers. They'll want to buy the lesser one because it looks like they're going out of stock in a way. I'd almost buy these. Yeah, let's... No, let's not. Let's not. That's how you make a decision right there, folks. Almost the same thing there. I would almost buy that mithril. Auctions really just do not make for a good podcast. So thanks for sticking with us or jumping around, and you landed here. $17 and $20 is just the right price to almost buy it or almost let it go. Dark iron ore is cheap, but no thanks. We can let that price drop. It's on the way down. This, I do want to buy those, but we can let that drop again too. Because I already bought these two ore today, and they're different from other ore because you get them out of your garrison. I should use the closer alt key. You can hear me at the keys, but that's fine. I'm missing an ore here. I'm missing one. Or it's sold. Missing the other half of the trillium here. Might just be a mystery. Moving on. We already saw these. Except for that one. I forget whether these are in the right order. So we are going to move on. Somebody just oh no. I think I was just trying to sneak in there. Anyway. Let's switch characters again. So we got a lot of goals done this month. Next month we might get the arena together. The old arena team. And Jared, Jeff, and I beat the number 1 3v3 team on our server, which was at rating 3051, which is the very top arena rating. And we beat the team. We're getting that group, we're getting that band back together, so to speak, this month when I hit 120 on a horde. We almost did a podcast to them today, but I'm just taking care of this because it's the very last thing on my to-do list. Yeah, enough. I just remembered what I was going to do other than PvP on the podcast, and that was do Molten Core. So I guess we'll go do that. I did a lot of bag sorting today. I sorted all of this into all of the other bags on all of my other characters earlier today. So we can fly to Molten Core now. And we'll end the podcast right when I get to the doors. Ha ha ha. Maybe we will. I'm gonna celebrate today. When you get everything done, get all the goals done. It is time to relax. So basically, when I post the podcast this month, right after I stop recording this, as long as this microphone is on, good. You know, then I'm gonna really enjoy myself. I could have muted myself with the microphone here. That's why I checked it. Could have just kept going on and on and on. So yeah, the subscribers in WoW. Just because everyone else is, and this is always about groupthink, as they say. Just because people are like slowing down on their subscription in WoW doesn't mean that you should, or it's a bad sign, or it's like negative. It's just a reflection of the shortcomings and the changes and decisions that and bad changes and decisions that they made and won't undo for now in World of Warcraft. But as I was saying earlier, that just means that like certain things are easier to capitalize on. So a really smart and astute player will ride it out and find like niche markets and other such schemes, other such schematics. It could be schematics, engineering. Let's end this podcast in Ironforge. I've said everything. I've said every single thing I've needed to say. I think. I don't even know. Yeah. We got a lot done this month, and there's a lot to do next month. So long and farewell.